Hello users, and welcome to another episodic installation of Above It All, the series in which I talk about politics and how I am better than everyone else, and I am definitely better than ICE. So I read this article, and yeesh, this is definitely something not good. This came out on February 14th, which as of this recording is 2 days ago. And Trump basically is planning on increasing the amount of essentially Nazi presence in a lot of cities. And there's a video here in this article that I hadn't seen, which is just kind of disgusting. So I'm going to play that at the end. And it's just kind of gross. But so here we have something that's super interesting, and what I want to kind of talk about in this video as my main thesis here is the idea of just how these people speak about human beings. So here we have a quote: "In order to enhance the integrity of the immigration system, protect public safety, and strengthen our national security." Like, the way to enhance the immigration system is clearly if someone comes into the country, you give them paperwork. Like, it's not difficult. There's no reason for this to be like, it's a completely manufactured outrage. If like the whole point of documentation is so we know who you are. If you gatekeep documentation, people will be less likely to acquire documentation, which means it's less likely that we know who they are. Therefore, give them documentation. Like, it's not like rocket science, you know what I mean? It's totally simple. I just want to start this off by saying, of course, Bernie Sanders is the only candidate in the race who has a plan to abolish ICE and provide simple immigration reform, which is extremely important. We have another quote here that I thought was just kind of disgusting. "As we have noted for years in jurisdictions where we are not allowed to assume custody of aliens from jail." Like, referring to human beings as aliens, again, it goes back into what I was saying here, which it plays into pseudo-speciation, which is a nice little term. Basically, it means, oh, I'm clearly in advanced form. I'm white, so everyone, that person's brown. Therefore, I'm more evolved. I'm better. I'm a better human. Those aren't even humans. Those are aliens. What are those? It's like the episode of Black Mirror where they give it's like a special helmet or something with like goggles, and it like makes people see humans as literal aliens. Definitely go watch that episode if you haven't seen it. Black Mirror is amazing. But it's disgusting to me that the people can just talk about human lives like, oh yeah, they're aliens. Oh yeah, they're just they're not people. Like, I don't care about them. They're aliens. It's grotesque. And so, like, it's just clearly, like, again, like, there's a difference between, say, if you wanted to, arrest everyone who is undocumented, right? Like, you don't have to bring in a SWAT team. That's the thing that's, like, absurd to me. It's like, I've been swatted. I've had dozens of armed riot cops at my door with like machine guns before. You know what I mean? Like, what would have happened if I weren't white? If I were just brown or black or something? Who knows? I might not even be alive. You know what I mean? So like, it's one of those things where like, nope. First of all, nobody needs a SWAT team to apprehend like one person. That's just ridiculous. That's a waste of everyone's time. That's a waste of money. That's a waste of resources, right? Nobody needs that garbage. If you wanted to, just for whatever reason, arrest every undocumented person or every brown person, you could do so with just street cops. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need fucking SWAT teams. And like, even with obviously arresting them to begin with, it's just it's kind of grotesque. But it's just the whole point of intimidation. Like, there's this thing I saw a few months ago where they had literal fucking like tanks go through Queens, New York, and it's like, what is this fucking Grand Theft Auto? Like, what the fuck? You know, like, and these are just like regular people who are just trying to live their lives. Super bizarre stuff. And at the end of this article, there was a video that I hadn't seen, of someone getting arrested in a Burger King. I highly recommend watching it. I'm just gonna play a little bit here. It's like, someone's just trying to get food, right? Maybe for their family, who knows about the context here. And then you have a bunch of like goons basically just try to fuck them over. And as you can see, like near the end, like they're just really just twisting and contorting his body. They tase him a few times. It's just kind of disgusting. And then you have like everyone else in the restaurant like crying in the background, and it's like just horrifying for everybody. Like why is that a thing? It's bizarre to me. And like I said before, these are literal Nazis. You know what I mean? Like anyone like, and I've said this before, like the whole ACAB, all cops are bastards, especially when it comes to like ICE. You can't just say you're doing your job. You know what I mean? These people are literal Nazis. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no historical. Oh, but it's different this time. Like no. These are literal Nazis. Anyone who works for ICE, in my opinion, like unless like you're a secret agent who's like trying to dismantle it from within or something, which I'm sure that maybe there's a few people, but if you work for ICE, in my opinion, you should just go to jail for the rest of your life. Maybe not the rest of your life, that's a little punitive, I don't agree with that, but this is kind of a reactionary take from me. But like you should definitely have severe reprimands. You should be imprisoned for, I don't know, maybe 20 years. You should have to watch like training videos on like how to view fellow humans as humans and not animals. Like the way that cops treat people is just disgusting. And I've seen this firsthand. When I lived in Washington D.C., I've seen cops just brutalize people for no reason. It's just absurd. So I mean, definitely watch this full video. I'll link it in the description. I'll link this article in the description. But things are not good when it comes to the whole Trump thing. And this goes back to just like we live in a literal fascist state, and like not many people talk about it. Like yeah, like we live in like a garbage country that doesn't even guarantee healthcare to people. But even more important, we literally have Gestapo crowds like running through restaurants to just like remove the aliens. It's absurd to me. It's absolutely absurd. So let me know what you think, and definitely go watch the full video if it's something you can stomach. If not, I understand. But there's just like the problem is there's just so much of this, and not to like what do they do after they arrest and brutalize these people? They send them to like detention centers where the people get sexually assaulted, people get killed, people get murdered. Like and then ICE is having the gall to censor those documents from the National Archives. Like I covered a story about this the other day, and it's just like it's fucked up. It's terrible. So like that's one of the things where like if you ever see like whenever I see police. Right, like, not just like, oh, they're driving down the road, but like if police are doing something, I will always record it. Always. Always. You never know when you're just inadvertently going to save someone's life in that kind of context. So, like, you know, if you ever see police, like, even if it looks like they're in the right, just always record their behavior if you can. Like, if you're, you know, walking around and you see cops, like, tackle someone, take out your phone, record it, and just be safe. You know what I mean? Like, cops are not on your side, especially ICE. They're not on your side. They're literal Nazis. Like, they doesn't matter if you're whatever skin color. Like, if you look like you're going to go against them in any capacity, they're going to fuck you over. So you just got to be very careful around these people. And hopefully, when Bernard is president and he undoes all this crap and completely eradicates ICE, hopefully we can move on. But it's one of those things where, like, you're going to have people that are going to be traumatized for the rest of their lives because of the United States government. Like, you're having children that are separated from their families, right? And they might never see their parents again for the rest of their lives. So, like, we're going to, like, see stories in, like, 2050 of, like, someone who was a kid during this era finally finding, like, their long-lost brother or something, or, like, you know, their dad or their mom's dead and they only have their dad left or whatever situation. And, like, we're going to see those kind of stories, like, for the rest of our lives. And that's what's kind of fucked up about this. You know what I mean? Like, it's awful. It's terrible. Terrible. Not good. Oh, God.